people just start seeing you as that person. I started feeling like I was man of the match. I wasn't just man of the match, but I was man of the sport, and I was man of the team. Yeah. I was the man if this was happening. And then when we'd go to parties and stuff like that after, that's still there. If I'm still with those people and if they still have that view of me from the sporting field, then I'm still that man that night as well.
Partying was just an opportunity to test how much attention you could get from guys and from girls as well, because it's a competition, you know. Like you want to not only impress the guys, but you want the girls to be like, oh, you know, I want to look like that. I want to have those guys around me. I want to have those guys checking me out. And
I think as it got more serious, just more and more in sport, it just had to be greater. And in girls, I just had to find the one that was going to complete me, because there was an empty heart and a hole in my heart, and that just had to be filled up by something. So just really getting into sport more, taking it way more serious, and trying to find a girlfriend that would complete me.
And we always wanted to be famous, yeah. And we always wanted to be loved and to be respected by our mates.
At first, I was a surfer, yeah. But there was a group at my school, you know, that were all surfers and everything like that. And you had to actually fit in with them, not just by being a surfer, but you had to be cool, you had to do the things they do. I started being friends with them, sitting with them in class a little bit, but I still wasn't allowed to sit with them in their group at lunch and recess, playing handball and whatever, ripping off people, all that kind of stuff. So I watched them, studied them a bit, I was thinking, that's how I'm going to be like them. And they were passing around their mobile phones in class, and I looked at the mobile phones and that, and there was naked women on these mobile phones and everything. So they were looking at pornography in year 7. I thought, if all these guys that are cool are looking at women in this way, I think I might give it a go too. So that's the mindset that I was going through my head.
I guess as soon as the whole emo wave came in, our haircuts began to change. Like our hair, you know, we had really long fringes, and our jeans got tighter, and our lyrics became more emotional and more about relationships. And yeah, I guess, you know, I began to go through a whole kind of really deep intrinsic struggle with identity, where I always just cared about what people thought about me, how I looked. I always, in this emo scene, was just always caring about, you know, do people think that I'm that emo? Am I emo enough? Because some used to call me Emo Billy, and people would be looking at me. And so it felt good. I was achieving it. So I was dominating the scene. And so as long as you could get glances and people said that you looked good in that scarf and everything, like, you just felt good, and you felt like you really fitted in. There was a sense of belonging. Okay. But there was also a sense of power.
The sun won't rise on another day. Don't let this moment fade away. The sun won't rise on another day.
I had a very lonely childhood, I suppose. I was always trying to fit in with my friends, and I would do whatever they said. You know, I'd go places, take whatever drugs that they were taking, because, you know, it was a quick fix, quick feel-good thing, and you don't realise how slowly you're spiralling down to the ultimate, and then you finally wake up to yourself, and it's taken, you know, 25 years to get there, but it's a 25-year long spiral journey, you know, and it can either take, it rips your soul apart, and it can rip your physical being apart as well. You know, there's a lot of people who look so much older than what they are, you know, because of the lifestyle that they've taken. But it's a slow spiral. You don't realise how bad you are or bad you look until you get to that very point.
Well, actually, I think I became less fearful when I started uni, because in high school it was really about, you know, what group you were in and who you were seen with, and it was a lot more cliquey, whereas in uni it was like, well, you have classes with so many different people, and you mingle with everyone, and and so it loses that clickiness, which was, I think, one of the things that scared me the most about high school. And so in uni, I think I became a bit more, I don't know how to describe, I guess I was a bit more free in a sense, because I didn't have those social constraints and restraints, but at the same time, I still really, you know, I still wanted people to like me.
I was on the streets, and it was friendship, you know. It was like the bikie gangs of today. It's a fellowship. Same thing then, same as a derelict alcoholic. It's a fellowship. We're all the same.
And when they do things, you don't want to do it, but you want to do it because they're your friends.
I guess it gave me some kind of value and made me think that I was okay, like, you know, that if guys liked me or were attracted to me or wanted to go out with me, then, you know, I had something altogether.
It would feel satisfying for a time. Like, yeah, I used to kind of pick a guy or whatever, one that I somewhat was attracted to. And sometimes I wasn't even attracted to them at all. But then, like, get their attention. And once I got their attention, I knew I had it. I would, for a time, I'd feel satisfied. And then I'd feel so grossed out and I'd run away from them because I didn't actually like them, but I liked the feeling of, yeah, I felt valued by it.
I used to do exactly the same thing as Sarah. And I had a couple of years where I was a bit chubbier. I remember this one time I was shattered because Sarah was quite glamorous, and we were at a Bible study and I went in and sat on the floor, and then Sarah walked in and like there was this guy who was like, "Oh, do you need a chair?" I was like, "Excuse me, did you see me walk in?" See me?
I get challenged, I get talked like, where are your friends now? What's happening now? Like, all those people that you've all spent your money on, all that stuff that has happened, where are they now?
After like a night out, you sort of wake up the next morning with a pounding headache. You got no money in your pockets. You're hungry, but it's like you just, I don't know.
So you've been there before?
Yeah. I mean, it's not the most pleasant experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, you wake up and you're just thinking, what am I doing here? You know, what did I do last night? Can I remember last night? And then I don't know, you begin to evaluate yourself and just go, was it really worth it? You know, I mean, had a mad time, but you know, and overall, was it really worth it? I'm left with no money, and you know, trying to get a cab home or something like that. But
that emptiness still comes back, even though I keep trying to fulfill it, and do all these things. And for that moment, when I'm sitting in the clubs or driving around with the boys or doing something that gets my heartbeat racing or something, because I love driving, so like I'll just dash through the streets and that. And at that moment, it gives me that fulfillment, like I've done something, my life means something. But then straight after that, I hit rock bottom because I feel like empty again.
You feel empty. You honestly, you think to yourself, if this is what I'm worth, if this is the world that we live in today, I'm not happy at all.
All I remember was a voice from behind me, and I'll never forget these words. It was, "Oi, are you okay, mate?" And a really strong Australian accent.
Look at us, we have nothing to fight for. Look at us, we have
I know God's always there and He always loves me, you know, as my mum's always said, you know, God will always have your heart and always have your hand, and, you know, always pray all the time. It's just sometimes it's hard, you know, being in this scene and being in the image, you know God's always there, but then as well you got the devil, you know, the violence and the music can always take over you.
Especially Eminem. Like basically when I got depressed, I would, you know, sit in my room and listen to it like blasting away, and so that I couldn't really hear anything else, and like just absorb myself in the lyrics, and basically hate myself, hate the world. And